Hello, hello. Welcome to Sparkle.Sanctuary. My name is Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, I have another Diamond Art Club unboxing. A friend of mine identified that this came back in stock and I went and purchased it right away. And then this one also came back in stock. And so I made another purchase. Well, so back in November, I had planned on doing a no-buy and that didn't work. So in December, I planned on doing a no-buy and that didn't work. So then January, I was like, hey, I'll do a no-buy in January. Well, since that obviously got broken with these ones, I actually made another purchase after this. And so be prepared for that video to come out also in the next week or so. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. I will give a little bit of information. This is Lumina by Margaret Morales. She is gorgeous, got butterflies and lots of purples. And I had to have this and I was so upset when I missed it the first time. And so I was very, very grateful for my friend who let me know that it was back in stock. I purchased this on January 9th. And I will tell you that this is the only time I have ever paid full price for a kit and paid shipping. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I have to get it. I don't want to take any chances on missing out by using my points or trying to get any of that sorted. So it just happened and I bought it. I didn't receive this package until I think January 20th. And it's weird because the shipping on the Diamond Art Club website doesn't even show the same shipping, that information that I received the box in. It still says it's pending. So I don't know if they had an issue with the labeling or shipping or whatever, but it took a little bit longer than normal. Now, from the 9th to the 20th is not a long time. It's only 11 days, so I'm not complaining. But I ordered these ones on the 12th, and I got them on the 15th just to kind of compare what normal Diamond Art Club shipping is for me. So I'm just kind of wanted to point that out. I've never experienced that before, but it did happen with this kit and made me very nervous. So I was so very, very, very grateful and glad when I got this in. Okay, so going back to the information about the kit, this is a 22 by 33 inch or 35.6 centimeter by 38.7 centimeter. Because the box is pink and because there's a round symbol here, and then because it says round, that identifies that these diamonds are round shaped. That doesn't mean the canvas itself is round. So you have a thumbnail here. And then if you turn the box on its side, there's another thumbnail. It says it has 84 colors, including 1 Aurora Borealis, 1 Electro Diamond, and 4 Fairy Dust Diamonds. It gives you the total diamond amount and a SKU number. On the back, there is a how-to information and kit contents. This is actually a sleeve that just slides over the box. Let me see if I can pull that off. So it's just a sleeve. This is how all of these boxes will be. Just to show you, there's no image on here. So, and there is kit information, but the image itself is not there. So if you are going to store these in the box, I recommend leaving that sleeve on. On this side, there is a barcode and then the name of the kit with another small thumbnail. And then on the bottom here, whoop, almost dropped that. On the bottom here, there is another small thumbnail with the name of the kit, the size, and then the SKU number. Now, the SKU number is important because it is on several other areas of this diamond painting so that you can keep all of the information together. So if you do store them separately, like I do, it's very helpful to know those things, okay? So let me set these aside a little bit more. We'll get into this. So you pull the box out of the box, and in here is a toolkit. I will show you this one toolkit. I won't show you the ones from the other kits, and then that way I'm not repeating myself too many times. But for people that are new here, can still get to see the toolkit. So inside of here, I'll pull everything out. There is a pin. Looks like mine came unscrewed, so that's okay. There is like a little stopper on here. You can push wax inside there. It's already preloaded with wax, so you don't have to. But that's how you just screw it on and screw it off, and that's how you do that. Now, once you've got that kind of screwed on a little bit, you pop this open, and there's the tip of your pin. Now, if you look, there's nothing in the tip of that. If I twist this up quite a bit, it feels a little bit stiff because it was kind of cold. It's been very cold here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it is slowly, the wax is coming up the tip of the pin. And so that's how you do that. You just keep twisting and then the wax will come up. And that's how you get the wax on the end of this pin. And then you can keep it lidded so that the wax doesn't get gross. There's also a 4-placer on this end. You can take this off and replace it with the 7-placer that comes in this kit. So there is also a 7-placer. Okay, that is for multi-placing. You can use either the clear wax that they give you additional wax for your pin, or you can use the heart wax. Now, whenever you have one of these waxes, just know that there is like a plastic cover that you'll need to pull off before you stick your pin in it, okay? So there comes with 2 different kinds of wax. There's also a bag of baggies. I don't remember how many baggies, but it's something like, let's see, it says just says resealable baggies. It doesn't say how many. I think it varies. Then it has a tray. Now the tray is branded Diamond Art Club. And as you can see, it's got these like edges on here. So you have a space where you can put the lid on, and see that goes like that all the way around. And then you just take the lid off and it keeps your diamonds in there. There's also a stopper. So if you finish your diamond painting or you need to stop your diamond painting for a little while and set it aside, it does keep your diamonds in there pretty well. I will say if you drop them on a hard surface, they may not fully stay in, but it does save your drills pretty well. So yeah, it's just a very nice toolkit for just being, you know, part of what's standard that comes with these kits when you buy from Diamond Art Club. Put these away, and we will get into the kit contents. So here I have there's a dust cover bag that covers the diamond painting itself. It is sealed. You just open this up, and then you pull out the contents from the inside of the bag, and then there is your canvas. There's also in here inside the box, there is an envelope. Now this envelope is it says thank you for your purchase. And then there's a little diamond right here. You squeeze that and that's how you open it. Okay. It also says thank you for your purchase here. On top is tips and tricks. On the bottom is your kit contents. On this side is their social media. Right here is the Facebook group. And then on this side is save 20% off your purchase when you buy through their app. Okay. You only get it the first time that you buy through their app. This is called a treasure quest card. This is something that you can use the code on their website. Do not enter the codes until you're ready to redeem those, okay? And then here is more information, step-by-step how-tos. And then this is actually a sticker book. So everything on this side of the page, see, this is a sticker page. Everything here you see is a sticker. So the diamond, this little label for Diamond Art Club, the title Lumina, the start and end date, the thumbnail, and then the information about the kit, as well as all of these little pieces. So I'll pull this in a little bit. As you can see, there you go. So these are stickers so that you can kit these up into kits and be able to use those pre-labeled for you. I love having stickers and labels for all of the stuff that I do. So this is fabulous. If you look here at the end, there is A, B, K, and Z. AB stands for Aurora Borealis. K stands for Electro, and Z stands for Fairy Dust. And those are all the special diamonds that are going to be in the kit, and that's what we're going to spend our time looking at. I'm not going to show you all of the diamonds because we are going to be going through 3 different kits, but I might kind of just slide through them quickly and just fast forward that, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's put this away. All right. Let me get this out of the way too. Okay, so as you can see at the top of the diamond painting is their branding, Do What Makes You Sparkle Diamond Art Club. The edges of this are not frayed. They're not frayed. They're scalloped and poked to keep from fraying. And then the back side of this canvas is soft and flocked. It does make the canvas a little bit more cushiony when you're diamond painting on it. Also, if you look here, you see the gray lines that are on here. That's actually like a perforated edge, so you can tear those apart. I don't use those perforations, but a lot of people do. They like that it, kind of identifies a marker on the size of the section that you're working on. I actually work in fairly large sections. 4 of these is a little too big, and 1 is too small. So I end up working somewhere in the middle of that. So I use washi tape on mine, but some people really, really like that. Okay. On the top left is going to be a legend. Let's keep rolling this down. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. On the bottom right, there's also going to be a legend with all of the diamond information on the symbols so that you can place them on your kit. This is going to be very confetti heavy. Actually, okay, so confetti is when you have a lot of colors in a small area and you have to keep changing out the diamonds in your tray. And color blocking is when you can use your multi-placer and place multiple colors at a time, multiple of one color at a time. This is kind of weirdly in the middle. Like there's a little spot here of color blocking, but then this is confetti. And then there's like sections where it's like little chunks of different colors. And so I'm going to be able to use my multi-placer. So I think it's kind of like a color blocking confetti, which is very much like, it's so entertaining to do because I can still use my multi-placer, but I don't get bored. Oh, wow. She is so pretty. This is such a big image, but look at all the butterflies. Okay, so here at the bottom of the diamond painting, you have another thumbnail information, and then see there is where they have the SKU number right here that matches the SKU number that was on the box. If you look on the kit, it also matches the diamonds here. So like I said, if you store all of these separately, you'll have no problems being able to find those. There is information here for 10% off code. I think you can only use that once. But then there's their social media, and then here is their warranty information. Oh my goodness. And as you can see, the kit is fairly big, so it's laying pretty flat. Sometimes I have to roll these backwards in order for it to lay flat, but this is doing pretty well. Only the edges are kind of curling up. Wow, she's so stunning. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit of time just kind of admiring this image. Let me move these out of the way and I'll turn her sideways and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So I went ahead and pulled these out of the bag just because that is a pretty significant crinkle and I wanted to avoid that as much as possible. But look at the color spread here. We've got lots of purples and blues and pinks, and I think this is absolutely going to just be so fun to work on. I cannot wait to get into this kit. So like I said, I will kind of just go through, show you the diamonds pretty quickly, and then I will stop whenever I get to a special diamond and kind of explain it a little bit and do my best to show you a little bit of where they're placed, okay? So we'll get started here. All right, here's our first one. So this is Z762. This is what Diamond Art Club calls a fairy dust diamond. There is just, if I can get it in really close, I don't know if you can see, there's a little extra sparkle on top of those diamonds. They're called, it's mica powder that is kind of sealed into the top of them. Just gives it a little extra sparkle. Now Z762 is the letter H. When I kind of looked around on this canvas, I see some in butterflies, but I also saw it along the edge of that bubble there. It's just along the edge of this bubble here. Like, it's kind of sprinkled in a wide variety of places all over the canvas. So it's just a very subtle gray. I think that they're just going to have a little extra sparkle for us. All right, here's our next special diamond. This is AB211. As you can see, there is like an iridescent coating over the top of those that gives it kind of a rainbow effect. That is the AB coating. It stands for Aurora Borealis, and that's what they're kind of referencing, kind of what the Northern Lights look like. It is absolutely stunning and gives a very, very significant sparkle. So AB211 is the 4-leaf clover, 3-leaf clover, I guess. There's like a little chunk in here. There's a little bit in there. There's a little bit here. So I think, again, this is going to be one. There's a little bit in that butterfly. There's a little bit in that butterfly. There's a little bit in this butterfly. There's some in this butterfly. There's some here, just randomly here, in her hair, here. And there's some in this butterfly and up here along the edge. So again, that's another one that's just kind of sprinkled in. All right, here's our next special diamond. It is K444. This is what they call an electro diamond. What you're not wanting to look at is the yellow, but the gold. Now that gold is what is going to be the top of the diamond and is going to just give this metallic effect to it, okay? So K444 is the star symbol. All of this yellow looping that goes through. Let me move this one out of the way. And then all through here, there's like a gold looping that goes through here and lit through there. That's that metallic color, okay? Here's our next one, Z7800. This again is the one with the mica powder on top of it. Z7800 is the letter W. There's some in this butterfly. There's some in this butterfly. There's some here in her hair. There's some here in this bubble. There's some in that butterfly. I don't see, there's some here, just in her dress. So again, that's another one. I think this one's just a lot of them are gonna be kind of sprinkled in various places just to give it that little extra twinkle. All right, here is our next special diamond. This is Z3D752. You can really see the mica powder on that one. It's so pretty. So this one is a line with a bubble on the side. There's several colors in this kind of gray blue shade range. It's hard to see. So there's like a tiny bit through here on the side of her hand, which I find odd. There's a little bit here. There's some here in her hair. There's several in this butterfly here. So again, it's, I think, gonna just lightly be sprinkled wherever you see that color. Yeah. Here is another of our fairy dust. This is Z153. What a beautiful pink. Okay, Z153 is the side arrow. Sometimes it takes me a second to find one. And then once I see one on the canvas, so there's a tiny bit in here. I don't see in her hair. Interesting. There's a couple different arrows in this kit. One is up and one is sideways, and they are very similar in tone on the canvas here. So those are, there's a little bit of that, the one we're looking for here, and some here. So again, I think this is just going to be sprinkled everywhere. So that's going to be interesting while working on this canvas, the two. I wonder what the other color looks like. Up arrow 554. So yeah, 554 is another light purple. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. So just to keep that in mind when you're working on a canvas like this, any symbols that might be similar that might trip you up and be in similar shade. All right, and that is all of our diamonds for this kit. Let me get this put away and I will get out the next one. Okay, so the next kit that we're going to look at is called Witch's Desk by, I think that's Larry, yeah, I'm butchering that, I'm sure. Anyway, it is a 22 by 28 inch or 55.6 by 70.7 centimeter. It is also a round because it is pink and has this and says round. It is also a round shaped diamond painting. The side here says that it is 68 colors with 2 Aurora Borealis, and 5 fairy dust diamonds. All of the information about this kit, the way it's printed and everything is exactly the same as the last kit, including the sleeve portion. So I'll just kind of let you look that over. Okay, and then we will get into the bottom of this. Now, I know this says Witch's Desk, but I didn't really see a witch. I saw a fairy, and that was really kind of what drew me to it, and I'll show you why. So we'll pull out the kit here. All right, so here is our toolkit. Again, same toolkit as the last one. And then here is our envelope. And here is the same, all of the same specs. We have our Treasure Quest cardigan and then our sticker sheet. And this shows all of these colors. And here at the bottom, we have our 2 ABs and our 5 fairy dust. Okay. So again, you'll want to keep that sticker sheet so that you can keep track of the stickers and be able to kit up into however you store your diamonds. All right, let's take off the dust cover bag here. Okay, so it looks like this one is rolled the other way. I like kits like this that have little, just little individual pieces in it. I love that these are going to turn out so well. It's very detailed. So I guess with the potions, I can see it being a witch. But this here is why I said I saw it more as a fairy than a witch. There's little fairy wings on her back. Isn't that cute? I love that she's kind of obviously in a city somewhere or something, looking at her desk. All right. Isn't she pretty? But yeah, there's like a tall building or something here on the side, so it looks like she's just working in a city somewhere. I love the lights. I imagine those are going to be really cool, and if they are not blinged out, I will definitely bling those out myself. And then the moon at the top. Okay, so all the same specs. The Diamond Art Club branding at the top, the same flocked back canvas, the same scalped and poked edges, the same perforated cover sheet, the same legends on the sides. Everything about these kits is exactly the same, except the image that you're actually working on. All right, let me turn her sideways. As you can see, this one is also lying pretty flat. I am stumbling over my words today. I apologize. Pretty flat, pretty quickly. So let me get into this. Sorry about all that crinkle. All right, and here is the spread for these colors for this image. All right, here's our first special diamond. It is Z3807. Look at that color and the mica powder on top. It's so pretty. Okay, so Z3807 is this knot sign. It's like a purple. Oh, it's along the edge of the cat here. And then on the top and in little places on her headphones. It is on these books here. I believe those are books. And that is all I see of that one. Okay, here's our first AB. AB 996. That is so pretty. Sorry for the glare off my light. I'm trying to find a way to show you it so that it looks better. So AB 996 is a double dots. Those are around the edge of the moon here and a little bit in her ponytail hair piece, and then some in these potion bottles here. Okay. All right, here's our next special, Z605. Z605 is a /. That is this top of this book here. There's several in the clouds through here. That's quite a bit in the clouds, actually. And that is the only places I am seeing that one. All right, our second AB right here is 3078. And this is just a line. Okay, so down here in this glowing flower, and then up in the lights on this side, that AB is there. And then there's some in the lamp here. Very nice. Okay. There is another one of our fairy dust. Z744. Okay, so Z744 is this triple arrow. So there's a line of it here. There's some in the skylight light here. There's a bunch in this light here. There's a little bit in the star here. There's some in this star here. There's some in this potion bottle here. Okay. And here's another one, Z162. Z162 is a plus sign. It is the rest of the moon. And there's some in the potion bottles. And there's some in this potion bottle here, off to the side. It's kind of like not as visible. And then there's some in these books here. Okay. All right, so that is all for this kit. I will say there is quite a bit of color blocking in here. Like this whole section is mostly just the number 3. There's like sections of 1 through back here. I really don't see much, if any, confetti. This is going to be really easy and fun to work on. I will be able to use my multi-placer and I'll knock this kit out really quickly. So I don't know. I think she's so pretty. Let me know what you think. All right, let me put this one away and we'll get the next one out. All right, we are back with the last kit for today. So this is Dark Lilith, again by Margaret Morales. She's just like this warrior queen. I absolutely love it. It is 19.8 by 20.3 inches or 50.3 centimeters by 66.7 centimeters. Inches then centimeters. Okay, this one is blue. Unlike the other ones, this one is blue and has a square shape here and says square. So these are square shaped diamonds. I've mentioned several times on my channel, I'm not a huge fan of square diamonds, and so those are the ones I purchased the least, but Margaret Morales is definitely my exception to that rule. I will buy whatever she puts out there, whether it's square or round, just because I love her artwork so much. Okay, let's go ahead and just get into this kit. Oh, I was so excited to get into this kit that I forgot to show you. 62 colors, including 1 Aurora Borealis. Oh, I cannot say that word today. 62 colors, including 1 62 colors, including 1 Aurora Borealis, 1 Electro Diamond, 1 Iridescent Diamond, 1 Frosted Diamond, and 2 Fairy Dust Diamonds. So this is a very special kit. They've got lots of specials in here. So I'm excited to see how this looks. Let's just set that aside and I'll fix that later. All right, so same toolkit as the other one. And then here is our envelope. There is my treasure quest card. And then my sticker sheet with all of the stickers in it for this. So here is, starting at number 57 and going down, all of the specials. If you look, there's the number 6,000 in these kits. A lot of kits won't come with 6,000. At least you won't see that in other companies. Diamond Art Club does make some of their own diamonds in-house. So that is something that the number 6,000 is specific to Diamond Art Club. Okay. Let me move this. All right. Okay, let's get into this. This one is also upside down. So again, all of the same things. The kit itself is exactly the same. The canvas is exactly the same. Wow. This is more like the first diamond painting. It's not technically what looks like full confetti, but it's also not really color blocking either. There's like just little sections of each color. Through here, through there, just little sections of each color. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at that. I don't know what it is about Margaret Morales' work. I just love it. This one is going to be very dark. You can see by the spread, these are some very dark colors. So being square shaped diamonds, I'm really hoping this is good quality. I noticed in the last couple of years, Diamond Art Club's quality on their square diamonds has gotten pretty good, but sometimes they're really trash ridden and across the board for all companies. And I just, that was my only concern and why I didn't purchase this the first time it came out. But then I had remorse for not getting it, if that makes sense. And so I made sure I picked it up the next time it came out. So this one is smaller, fits really nicely on my desk. As you can see, the side is curling up, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll it back a little bit, and it'll lay flat. There we go. Okay, let me get into this. All right, again, as you can see, this color spread is really dark. So yeah, let's see what this looks like. All right, here is our first AB. You see that because it's such a dark color, it almost looks like an oil slick with the Aurora Borealis coating on top, or AB coating on top. So AB 413 is the down arrow. The down arrow goes through the sword. That is really cool. That is definitely going to make this sword stand out. There's some of that down arrow here, a little bit right here. And there's some in her nails here. And that is all I see. Nope, here's our next one, Z518. That is one of our fairy dust diamonds. So Z518. There's a little bit here, and here, and here. I think this one's just kind of sprinkled in, and there's some there, into the like blue swirly portions there. There's some over there. Yeah, it's sprinkled into the like kind of blue swirly portions in here. All right. All right, here's K444. This one is our electro diamond. Okay. It's a metallic, and it's a really neat shiny gold color. And this one is going to be the letter K, and it goes through the ribbon through here. There's a few in this crown here, and then there's through the feathers, the ends of the feathers over there, and through that, and then through the swirls here. And a couple just little sprinkles right there. That's gorgeous. All right, here is Z762. Z762 is a money sign. I see a little bit here in this swirl. I see them sprinkled through here. I see them sprinkled down here. There's a little bit right there, like a little chunk of it. And that's all I see of that. Our last ring of diamonds. All right, this is L780. L is their iridescent diamond. As you can see, there's a silver backing that's actually going to go down on the canvas. What you see, that yellowy gold color, is the part that you're going to be looking at. So this is the letter E. All right, so I see sprinkles of it through here. It's around this thing on her, this gem around her neck. See a little bit sprinkled here. Again, here in the tops of the crown. There's a little bit here in the feathers. I'm not sure if I can get that in view. There, and there. Here and here. And there's like a little bit right there. That looks like that for that. All right. Last one. So this is M519. This is the one that they call their frosted diamond. It's kind of like a jelly. You can see that? Yeah, it's kind of like a jelly. Frosted. I don't have any frosted diamonds from Diamond Art Club, so that's very interesting. So this one is a square. Where would they put this one? Okay, do I see any anywhere else? I don't see any anywhere else aside from those. But again, I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't see any anywhere else but on this. All right, well, that is all of these for these kits. So that is all I have for today's video. Please leave any questions you have in the comment section below. I may skipped something or gone too fast, and I don't mind answering any questions you may have. Let me know if you have any of these kits or plan to get any of them, which one was your favorite. Anyway, I hope that you are having a fabulous day, and I hope to see you next time. Remember, wherever you go to take care of yourself is a Sparkle Sanctuary, so be taking time to take care of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.